Well, he nearly died from a dramatic drop in his sugar levels. He survived a cardiac bypass, and he's beaten kidney cancer. His doctors call Gary Valenciano a miracle. Well, here's what his millions of fans call him.
Known as Mr. Pure Energy, Gary Valenciano is a Filipino singer, songwriter, and pop star sensation with a career spanning 38 years. Garyvee is an inspiration to millions across the world. During the pandemic, he participated in multiple fundraising events for the benefit of those affected by it. In 2021, Garyvee became the Philippine ambassador for Pray.com, an app that helps communities grow in faith through the spirit of prayer.
Well, please welcome to the 700 Club, live from Manila, my good friend Garyvee. And Gary, it's a pleasure to have you on with us.
It's good to be here again, my friend, and I'm glad to know that you and everybody there is doing okay, despite everything that's happened.
You've certainly gone through it. It's great to see your smile and see the joy in you. But you know firsthand the power of prayer. You've had several close calls. So tell us about those and tell us how God saw you through.
Well, he's continuing to see me through, because diabetes has been with me now for 42, 43 years, type 1. I've had many close calls with diabetes. But then in 2018, while performing, I suddenly started to feel a sharp pain in the middle of my chest. And this was televised, so only my sister could tell that I wasn't moving exactly the way I should have been. But soon after that, I had myself checked, and they said that I had a 95% block on my left main artery, known as the widowmaker. And the doctor said, I'm going to have to go in and do a bypass. And I said, then do what you must. So I went in, and they did everything that they had to do. And in the course of healing, I developed fluids on my left lung. And so the doctor said, let's go in, let's have a CT scan and let's see what's going on. And then they found cancer on my right kidney, which was quite large. It's like 4 centimeters by 6 centimeters. And thankfully, that's the only place it was in. So about a month and a week after the operation on my chest, I had to go back in to remove the tumor that was on my kidney. It's amazing how God may not tell you how he's going to come through, but he does. Because all I felt was just to be in the palm of his hand. In fact, I'll never forget, Gordon, when I was back in the very same operating room where they opened me up, but this time from my kidneys. And I was there, and that one moment when I said, Lord, I'm here again. And it's something else. It's something different. And I'm going to be opened up again. And it's almost like if I could picture it in my head and stage it like he was actually there physically, it was like he sat in front of at the foot of my bed, and he goes, yep, and I'm here again too. I'm going to be with you through and through. And he has been. He's been doing that since the very beginning, since I encountered the diabetes. Then, here's the latest news. A few weeks ago, I was on my way to, I was rehearsing for a show. And what happened was, during the show, I started feeling sick. And I was a bit, hesitant to tell people, because I thought maybe it was because I didn't sleep the night before, which was also true. But after the rehearsals, when I got home, I had low-grade fever and I had the chills. And it was that moment when I thought, could this be the virus? And it was dengue fever. I broke out with rashes, and I went back into the hospital. And again, it's easy to get scared when you start feeling these things, but there was that comfort in the spirit of him saying, I got you, and I'm going to see you through again. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know what may be discovered. I'm hoping nothing is. But even if something is seen, I know whose hands I'm going to be in, and I know who's going to see me through it. I may not be taken out of it, but I may go through it for whatever reason that may be. He knows, and it's all meant to make me better, to make me more than who I am now, but to make me more of what He'd want me to be, of who He wants me to be.
You are a living sermon. That is absolutely incredible. Have you ever asked God why?
Oh, many times, in those moments. But you know, it's never really out of the feeling of, you know, wanting to give up and being totally frustrated. But there are times when what you do for the body does not equate to what is good. I mean, it doesn't generate positive results. I work out, I try and stay as healthy as I can, and yet, you know, sometimes my hemoglobin A1C, which is basically the average sugar level that I have for the past 3 to 6 months, it's higher than normal. And I have to be very cautious with that, because diabetes can be very deceiving. You can feel good on the outside and things are going on the inside. And when I ask why, He always seems to confirm it when I actually have checkups. Because when I had dengue fever, I had to go to the hospital, and I had my eyes checked, and I had everything else checked in me. And the doctors were quite pleased, you know, to tell me, especially my ophthalmologist, who said, "It's amazing, you're a type 1 diabetic and there's no sign of deterioration whatsoever in your eyes. This is the first thing supposed to go." And then I had problems with my nerve endings, which is diabetic neuropathy. And so they did all sorts of tests. The tests were tough. They were using electricity, you know, to shock me every once in a while to see if my nerves were okay. And the doctor looks at me and says, "You did this about 13 years ago. You did this in 2013. And it's the same. Your readings are the same as that you have now as compared to what you had in 2013. And that in itself, you know, I guess age did not apply to me for that amount of time. So it's obvious that there's that song that says something about God working in ways we cannot see. And I truly, truly believe that. And that's what He's been doing. I don't see it, but when I go and have myself checked up, it's like a confirmation. I told you, Gary. I told you. I'm on top of this. I know what's happening. Sometimes things may occur in your life, Gary, that may not suit what you feel or may not even fall under what you planned. But I've got you. And I'm not going to let go of you. And I'm going to make sure that you are going to get to where you're supposed to get to if you allow me to. So those moments when I ask Him why, I may not get an answer, but there's peace that's deep inside, you know, transcending all understanding, to make me know that He's got me. And there's no safer place to be than in His hands.
Amen. Well, your life you're an example to us all in your prayer life. And you've been appointed the Philippine ambassador to Pray.com. So tell us about that.
Okay, Pray.com. What an amazing app, you know, to enrich, to deepen, and to strengthen prayer life. And, you know, when you do that, you basically strengthen your relationship with Jesus. And that's what this stuff is here at the back. Because really, I'm in the studio, and I'm work in progress here in the studio, because I'm creating more content for the Pray.com app. And it's great. The app basically gives you a chance to tap on things that you may not have ever known how to pray for. People with problems up here, which I know many people have gone through and are constantly going through today. Mental issues, uncertainty about tomorrow, fear, anger, forgiveness, and the lack of it. You know, this app will tackle these issues and will encourage you to pray about these issues in your own way, in your own words, but they are tools to help deepen that. And I'm so thankful that the pastor of the church called Favor Church, who is James Ayton, was already a part of Pray.com. And they asked him, who do you think would be okay, you know, to be a part of this? Who do you think in the Philippines would be, well, somebody in the entertainment field maybe, that might create an impact? and my name was mentioned. So next thing I know is my wife, Angeli, was telling me, Gary, they want you to be a part of it. And I met them. And it's one thing to come up with good projects, but it's another thing to encounter and come up with a working relationship with people that share the same faith, because you know exactly what you're there for and what you're there to do. And so that's how it came about. So I'm kind of excited. I get a little scared, when I create things, because it's not me singing, it's me speaking, sharing stories from the Bible. The one that I'm working on now is the story of Joseph. So it's challenging, but it's a challenge that I do want to take, because the challenge is not in coming up with something that would be excellent, because I know that only God is truly excellent in all of these things, but it's the way I feel it's going to impact the many out there who probably will have to hear stories like the story of Joseph. And I'm truly honored to be serving God in this way.
Well, it's an honor to know you, and you're made in God's image, and I can assure you what you do with excellence. I want to stop this so that we can all hear what you're doing and take a sneak peek at your music video. So, Gary, thank you for being with us. Give my best to your children, to Angeli. I see that you're working with Kiana. There are wonderful things coming from your family. It's always a pleasure to have you on and to see what you're doing.
Look who's here who wants to say hi to you. It's my wife, Angeli.
Angeli's behind the scenes. Hi, Angeli. Great to see you.
I love you, Gordon.
We love you, Gordon.
Hello.
All right.
Hi to Catherine.
All right.
Catherine.
Okay. All right. We've got just now a very short sneak peek at the video. To see the video in its entirety, and for more information on pray.com, just go to our website, cbn.com. We'll direct you to it. Here's Garyvee singing Make Us Whole Again.
Here we are, many are mending their broken hearts. Many are grieving and deeply wounded, defeated. From those who've gone with no goodbyes. We've tried to laugh and we cheered, we cried. For the selfless warriors who held the line, for you and I, for families like yours and mine. We've been through the best and worst of times, season after season, when the winds blew hard and the sun refused to shine above us. But we will sing in the storm, and we will dance in the rain. Though we can't come close and touch all those who now seem so far away, we're not alone in this storm, and we will pray in the rain. No, our hearts won't tire, our faith's on fire, and all